Okay friends, we are going to get started on drawing our magical tree houses today. We're going to start again with a white sheet of paper. Hopefully you have one that doesn't have any lines on it. We're going to need a pencil to start with, and then crayons are going to be great for this today. You can also use marker or colored pencil if you need to. So we're going to get started by going right to the center of our paper, and we're going to start making our tree house using different geometric shapes. So think about all those geometric shapes that you know and love to use, like rectangles and triangles and circles and squares and diamond or rhombus shape or hexagon or pentagon or octagon. And we're gonna stack those shapes one on top of each other to make it look like an interesting treehouse. Kind of think about like if you were at home building wood blocks. So if you ever used wood blocks to make like a castle or a tower or just a fun looking house, and you stack those blocks on top of each other and the geometric shapes really fit together nicely, that's what geometric shapes are really good at. I'm gonna kind of make mine look like a castle by putting two half circles on top and a triangle on top for the roof of my tree house. But you don't have to do that. Yours can look totally different than mine. You can use your imagination. Once you have your shapes that you like stacked on top of each other, you can think about some of the other details. Like, do I want to add something to the roof of my tree house, like a chimney? I'm gonna add a little flag because I kind of wanted mine to look a little bit like a castle. So I thought it would be fun to do this. Put little flags on the top. Think about, okay, what are the windows gonna look like? Do I want my windows to be circles? Do I want my windows to be squares? Do I want my windows to have a curved line on top or a straight line on top? Use your imagination. I think I'm gonna put a fun triangle window over here on this side, and circle windows over here, and maybe a square window over here. And then, what about my door? I need a way to get in the tree house. Since I'm trying to make mine kind of look like a castle, I'm gonna make an arch doorway just like a castle would have, with a divider down the middle, because I think that would look fun. And I can draw the curved arch over top of it. That looks pretty cool. And then add some more detail, maybe to even make it look a little bit more castle-y. Another window over here, just like this. So have a lot of fun adding the details on your tree house. And remember, yours can look totally different than mine. You could think of different ideas, like what if I wanted to make a Pokemon tree house, or what if I wanted my tree house to look like a spider, or what if I wanted my tree house to look like a funny emoji face. All those things are really cool. Ready to start thinking about the tree. Now the tree needs to grow up around the tree house. So I want you just to take your pencil and lightly draw the shape of a Y right underneath your tree house, just like this. And we're gonna turn that into a tree in just a second here. Now, after I do that, I'm gonna take out my brown crayon, and I am gonna thicken this up. I'm gonna color this in to make it look like a tree trunk, and I need it to be nice and thick. It does not have to go all the way down to the bottom of your paper. You can stop. And I'm gonna do the same thing on each side of my Y shape, right here, going right over top of that line, thickening that up to really make it look like a tree. Now it's starting to look like a tree, but not quite yet, because I kind of need to take my crayon and draw the edge to smooth it out, and that will curve it to make it look like a tree. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the inside, draw the edge of it and curve it to make it look like a tree. I might also wanna put like a little wood platform underneath my castle tree house so it doesn't look like it's gonna fall right there. Now, this would be too short if I left my tree like this, so I'm gonna make my tree grow up higher. And the way that I do that is by breaking each one of those big branches into 2 separate branches. And you can go ahead and do this with your crayon. Now, boys and girls, remember, if you do not remember how to do these steps, it's okay to rewind the video or pause it and come back and watch it again to see how I'm doing my branches here. It's really just in the shape of the letter Y. And I'm making them nice and long too. I'm not just going like this because that would be too small and too skinny. So I make them nice and thick with my brown crayon, nice and long, and I'm gonna keep adding those Y-shaped branches on each side. Go over here, break it into 2, make it look like a letter Y. Do the same thing again over here, and you see my tree is growing and growing and growing. Every time I make a nice big Y shape, at the end it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you want to make sure you make those branches thick enough so your tree doesn't break and fall over in a windstorm. Now that tree house, if I really want to make it look stand out and make it look cool, I could use a black marker or colored markers to outline to make it stand out more. And since mine is supposed to look like a castle, I'm going to start with a black marker and go ahead and just carefully outline the parts before I add some color marker detail. The little lines in the windows, the crisscross lines in the windows to give it more detail. All of those things you do will make it more interesting to look at. And just using your imagination, don't color your treehouse all one color. Use your markers and your crayons to really make it look very interesting to look at. I'm gonna do some diagonal lines on this part of my treehouse just for fun. Now it doesn't really look like a regular castle, it looks like a castle made out of candy. Okay, so after you're done adding all those details on your castle and making your tree, you can start to think about what time of day it is or what season even. Like I could leave no leaves on it and have it be winter outside with snow on the ground. Or I could still have it be fall and I could use my marker and my crayon to add really pretty fall leaves in my tree. Or if it were springtime, I could use my green marker to make big oval green shapes to make green leaves in my tree. And then down here on the ground, we always try to separate the sky from the ground by drawing what's called a horizon line. So if you remember doing that from before, you can add that because that'll show whoever's looking at it. Okay, as you can see, I am just finishing up my last little details. I colored my sky with blue and violet and added lots of green in my grass. And right now, I am making my way to get up into the treehouse using my black marker. So you don't want to forget to do that. Think about, how am I going to get up to my treehouse? Do I want to make a ladder? Do I want to make some stairs or steps? Is there a magical way to get into the treehouse? I also decided to draw a little rope bridge. I'm going to add some brown to this to make it look more like a bridge, going over into my treehouse, and then maybe even something really fun like a tire swing. So adding like a little rope going down and some type of a swing to swing on underneath your treehouse, using the shape of the letter O, and then making the center for it. And then you could find either a gray marker or a gray crayon and color in your tire. It's just that simple. Adding all those little extra details, coloring it and making it look special so that it looks like a really fun place to go visit. I hope you have fun finishing your magical tree houses today, boys and girls. See you later. Bye-bye.